Network, RJ here, where you keep the main thing because you're the main character in your story, man. We're excited. Listen, last week's conversation, man, we realized that we got to go a little bit deeper. So I think we're going to continue as to what that looks like. And I'm just going to tell y'all right now, I'm going to be in my bag tonight. So I hope
What does
y'all
that
ready.
mean?
We shall
I'm going to be in
see.
my bag tonight.
He gonna be in
I'm
his
not going to give
bag.
y'all no long
That means
answers.
you're not holding back. You're giving it all.
I'm not going to be no long answers, yes or no. I'm going to keep the main thing the main
One
thing.
shout
I'm going
out.
to follow my own advice.
Let's do it.
How y'all feel about that? Let's go.
Let's
What's
go.
up? Let's
Well,
go.
I tell you, there's a meme that Rob sent us that he saw. Can you put this up on the screen?
I will.
But the meme, or whatever you call it, it says if a man is sleeping with a woman, then it shouldn't be a reason why he doesn't provide for her or help her financially. And so I feel like that's a good way to start our conversation from last week. So I guess reading that, I'm gonna say it again. If a man is sleeping with a woman, then it shouldn't be a reason he doesn't help provide financially. So my question to everybody is, should there be a financial investment in a sexual relationship?
Okay, let me ask you this: is it just a sexual relationship?
All I can give you is what this little thing says, and it says if a man is sleeping with a woman, then it shouldn't be a reason why he doesn't provide for her or help her find. This shouldn't be a marriage then.
It's a
This is
loaded
marriage.
thing.
This is if you're just dating or whatever. You're having a sexual relationship with somebody. If you're sleeping with them, should you be held accountable to provide? So should there be a financial investment to a sexual relationship?
So I think if you're going to be in a relationship, one shouldn't be a candlestick to another. You know, I mean, at the end of the day, for the people that choose to have sex before marriage, if you're going to have sex before marriage, I don't think that should be connected to the fact of somebody providing, and I don't think providing should be connected to the marriage.
Right.
I mean, I'm sorry, to the sex.
Right.
At the end of the day, I mean, if you want to be sexual, be sexual. At the end of the day. And if the man or the woman wants to do something economically supporting the relationship, then just do it. But one shouldn't leverage the other. And I really
Yeah,
just want to
that's
say
true.
right now that people that are leveraging that in their relationship, that's toxic. I talked about that in episode number 1 or number 2, something like that. Get that toxic stuff out of here.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. Don't withhold the draws and don't withhold the money if that's what you choose to do in your relationship. You know what I mean? That's toxic. I'm going to just say it straight up. What's up?
I mean, I have to agree. I just don't think that you should mix the whole, money
It's
and
like-
sex thing. 'Cause,
Yeah.
I mean, unless
Hold on, Angelica, you're
You
doing
paying
it again.
for
Talking your
sex.
mic, sweetheart. Bring your mic back to your mouth because it's to the side, sweetheart. Bring it to your mouth. There you go.
You fixed that real quick, bro.
It's like you're
Yeah,
singing the
it is.
Yolanda Adams. Long
Yeah, you lead worship. You lead worship. You know how to hold the mic.
All right.
Now go ahead.
I don't even know what I'm about to say. Next question.
No, go back.
He's
We're good.
so
I don't even remember what was I
Cam, what do
saying.
you think about in terms of
Like
sex and
one doesn't have to
relationship?
do with the other. I
Right.
mean, if that's the case,
So-
then it's paid sex.
So talk to me about the people
Right, that's
who
another
do
job.
that. though.
Right.
Like at the end of the day, like no. I mean, there's a particular person that says, I haven't experienced that, but I've seen it like on the net. I had guys kind of talk to me and they've talked about how, they went on relationships, they spent X amount of dollar and they didn't receive what they thought they were going to receive. Or there was a particular woman that said, unless the date is of caliber, then it's not going to end in a particular way.
Well, I think the problem is that you go into that situation already with expectations.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so you can't go into a situation with expectation thinking, okay, I'm finna, spend $500 on this date
Yeah.
because I know I'm
Yeah.
finna get some tail.
What dates is $500?
Well, we know you don't
Clearly,
pay
I ain't- I'm
that
about to
amount
say-
for yours, but I'm
about
just
to say,
saying.
clearly I ain't dating right. 'Cause I ain't never $500 on a date.
Yeah.
No, just for an example. That's
Y'all
all.
dating
Not.
some big ballers or something.
I mean, hey, it's some.
I'm not gonna
some
lie.
that will.
I'll be honest with you. My best situation and my most expensive situation is connected to the fact that like I walked out of it, and so there was a particular date that I went on, and there was an expectation in that date, and I walked out like it didn't mean nothing to me.
Was the expectation from you or the expectation from
The
the other
expectation
person?
from the other person, I had no expectation, and I'm gonna be honest. I was on assignment the next day, and I had some church obligations and stuff like that, and I just wanted to be in a space where I was free in my mind. I didn't want to be connected, in my flesh.
You gotta help
the
me
next
here.
day.
When you said it was an expectation, she thought she was gonna get some
Yeah,
draws.
literally, she was. There was a situation where it was said that, hey, you didn't even try anything with me. I didn't come with any expectation at all. And so what I spent that night, what you spent
Okay,
that night
yeah.
in the travel, I came simply just to say, hey, nice to meet you, whatever that looks like, and how the night goes is how the night goes. But I didn't have any expectation to be physical at all.
I guess I may be the one person sitting here. I don't think there should be a number on a sexual relationship.
I
or
agree.
A person in your relationship because at that point, that's something else. We call that something else.
Prostitution.
Yeah, there you go. You said it.
It is
You know,
what
that's
it
called
is.
something.
It is.
But now I always argue this because I have female friends, cousins, nieces, or whatever, and I've always had this. If you open yourself and opening your legs for a man, there should be some level that he's opening for you. If you call him and say, "Hey, look, I'm trying to get my nails," there should be some kind of, "Hey, I got your back, I got your,"
Just
Right.
because they're having sex.
No, not because it's not like I'm paying you for doing something, but what.
So hold on, are we
is just
talking
always
dating
having-
or in a relationship? Because that situation that I was speaking of was a dating situation. That was a date.
I'm talking about like if you're in a
you're in a
relationship with somebody.
That changes
I
the
just
game
feel
a
like
little bit.
as a man, there should be some level of exchange.
I'm
I
not
feel
getting
like-
into a relationship unless I'm ready to be available.
Yeah.
Again, that means I'm available, physically. I'm available financially. And I mean, when I say physically, let me back up. I'm available physically to the nature of what we agree upon. Okay? I'm available financially to the layer of which we agree upon, etc. You know what I mean? And so everything is about, my availability,
Okay.
And so if we agree to be sexual, then that's what that should look like. And we don't need to have that conversation again as it pertains to, what I spent versus what you spent and all that kind of stuff. Because
Okay.
one doesn't have anything to do with the other. Money and sex don't touch.
I don't. Here's my thing. I don't think they touch. I don't think because we're having sex, I owe you money. That's not what I'm saying.
Right.
Right.
I'm talking about if I'm in a relationship with you as a man. Here's my argument. Let me word it like this.
Yeah.
I don't understand women that are in relationship with men that are having sex with men who they can't ask for help from.
Okay, I get
Yeah.
that.
Okay,
that's
okay,
what I
okay.
okay.
get
So
that.
let
I
me.
think
that.
that gets.
I see that.
That's where it gets silly for me.
see
Because I've
that.
had people, I have friends in my life. They're like, "Man, I'm going through a rough patch right now." You laying beside a nigga every night. I'm sorry.
You're
Y'all
laying
told me not to say
beside the
nigga.
guy you call
Yes,
boyfriend.
Yes, y'all told me I can't say that
It
word.
is what it
You're laying
is.
beside the guy you call boyfriend every night.
Right.
Giving it to him when he wanted.
If
But you got
Okay,
bills prepared and you
but
can't ask for help.
okay,
You
let's
can't-
just say that he's just not in a, he's just not at that place right
Then
now
you
where he
need to
can
pick
do
better.
that.
Then he don't need
Well,
to be
he
at the
don't
place
need to
where
be
he
laying in my bed.
You need to
But-
you need to be in the
But-
pick
He
better.
don't need to be in the bed.
But
He need
what
to
does
pick
that?
better.
But what does
No.
that have to do with having sex?
I mean,
It's not even just
so
about
it's
having
the
sex.
statute of
or-
limitations on the relationship that you guys choose to have. If it's a sexual relationship, then leave it there. But don't be like, you can't change that. If you agree on a sexual relationship, then at the end of the day, you don't get to say in the middle of the sexual relationship that you all agreed upon, by the way, I need my light bill paid. You know what I mean? You don't get to change the game in the middle of it. And at the end of the day, if like Rashawn said, if we're in a relationship, I want my woman to come to me. Listen, if I'm taking care of you physically, I'm gonna take care of you financially.
Or if
too.
she's taking care of you physically,
Yeah.
there should be a hey. I'm
Oh,
gonna,
yeah.
I'm gonna take care of you
Definitely.
physically, but I'm also gonna make sure you
Definitely.
Hold on, but Angel, you just brought up something that ain't even on my notes, but I do want to talk about it.
Not
What
in my
you-
notes.
It's not in the notes, but what you just said, is talking about what I was saying about why you laying down if you're not prepared. If a person is not financially prepared, should they even be dating? Should they be in relationship? If you're not financially capable to be in relationship,
I agree with
No,
that.
listen,
I agree with that.
No,
I
no,
agree.
listen.
Like,
listen.
low-key,
So
I
I want
agree.
to
I
challenge
agree with
that.
that.
I want to challenge
I
that
agree with
because
that. Because
because
there's no-
but hold on a second. Hold on. Because what
No.
what I hear is because you have no finances, you are not capable of being in a situation where that has nothing to do with like
Listen,
your, you know what I'm saying, like emotion.
I'm about to come at you contextually.
what does
Without-
your
hold
emotions
on,
matter
hold on.
when we
With-
can't go eat together? We
without-
can't do it 'cause you're
I'm
broke.
just no,
Listen,
but
this is the
okay, but
piece.
there's people that
Go-
there's people that hold on. There's people that are at home and can't afford to go out and still are in love with each other and still have a good you know what I'm saying, relationship.
I mean, that's true.
So you
too.
mean to tell me that that a woman should tell a man, well, listen, you know what, because you don't have a job right now, because you know what I'm saying, you don't have XYZ, that you don't get this opportunity to get to
It's
know
not
me,
about the
or
opportunity.
for that.
It's
I'm
about
just
the
saying.
man being equivalent to your expectations. It's about the man being compatible to your expectations.
Oh, I agree,
You
but-
don't
but-
get to be an A-class woman and then get with a C-class man, and then at the end of the day, he don't meet the. No, he got to be able to speak to that. At the end
But
of the
that
day.
go back to what I
But
said.
there are
last-
some people that are okay
That
with
goes
that.
back to what I said last week.
but
Though.
then
What you
there's-
just said, you are A-class woman dating a C-class man, and then you
That
get
speaks to
upset.
your mind.
You get upset because
that's
he
what the
can't
problem is.
provide at the level that's in your
At the
head.
end of the
But
day-
you knew that when you got with him.
Exactly.
You knew that
So
when you
you
first
have-
dated him. You knew it when you laid down with him.
Right.
Now you want to marry him and be upset because he can't pay for the
So
wedding.
I
Oh,
agree
no.
with that.
No.
But
We
here's
ain't
the
getting that
thing,
far.
though. You knew what you was getting yourself into. So no, you don't have a room to
But why-
to complain
But why
about
get
that.
in it?
That's my
Why
thing.
get in?
Because you're going to
Some
complain
people
about
do.
it eventually.
I mean, I
You're
agree
gonna
with
complain
you.
about
Why
it
get into
eventually.
it? Yes.
It's for, but I'm saying this from both sides. I'm not even talking about the man not being
Yeah.
financially ready. If a woman
Woman's
is not
not,
financially ready, because yes, there's a weight that a man has to bring financially to a relationship, to a marriage. There's also something that a woman has to bring financially
Definitely.
to
Absolutely.
the relationship.
Definitely.
And it may not
Absolutely.
even be her spending her money, but I need to know that you got me to some degree.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
I
You know what I'm saying?
agree.
I agree.
I may never ask you to pay
Hold
for
on.
one. Go ahead.
Why you saying that? I like what you just said. I don't even, man, in my relationship, I don't even want you to move in with me if you can't afford what I have. You know what I'm saying? Because what if something happened to me?
Yeah,
So if you can't
I
afford what
agree,
I have
for sure.
right now, then we need to put this on pause because y'all don't need you to fall in on something that you can't afford on your own anyways. If you wasn't gonna provide it for yourself anyways, nah, we don't need to do that. We put
Okay,
this
but
all
then
in
here's the
pause.
thing:
Have enough self control, okay,
Definitely.
and be mature enough to not even go into the situation. But the truth is that that's not what people do. Because
That's
you
the
get
truth.
yourself into situations and then you just like, dang, but I really love him. No, but
have
and
some
then you start
self-control.
and then you start.
But
settling.
but you just said it. You get in it, and then you're like, oh, why are you?
You gotta have
dating?
discernment
But
If
before.
you, it's almost like if you're not emotionally ready, why are you dating? If you're not financially ready, why
Okay,
are
so
you
what
dating?
about those
we still do
situations?
it,
Well,
though.
hold on a second. What about those situations that we get into all the time that we say, okay, well, you know
You know
this
what
is
that
just
was?
a friend.
That was
and
something
it
that was
it
just
grows
sex that you
into
turned
something.
it. That was something that was just sex
Been there, did that.
you turned into a relationship.
But
That's
let's,
what-
but come on, y'all.
That's
like,
what that was
stop.
something that
Because
was
I feel
just
like
sex
that
that you
turns
turned
to
to
a
a relationship.
I feel like
Yeah.
I feel like we're not being really honest because how many situations have we gone and said, okay, well, I wasn't looking for that, I'm not looking for that. We're just friends. You start talking and then you start liking that person.
Settled.
Been there.
Settled.
You-
I'm
And
not
that's
saying-
exactly what
I'm
it
not
was.
saying-
Settled.
I'm not saying that it doesn't happen. It happens all the
It
time.
happens all the
What I'm
time,
saying
yeah.
is, why is it happening?
We gotta
and
stop
shouldn't
letting it
stop?
happen.
It's a settling.
Yeah.
If I know that this, if you know what, this about to be, I might get canceled. We were upset with what Kim Burrell said about us hanging around people,
But there was
that
so much
can't
truth
pay
in
their
what she
light bills,
said.
ain't making progress.
Yeah.
She said it wrong and in the wrong position. But the same thing, if you're dating somebody that's behind every month in their bills, what makes you think that they're going to be a good wife or
No,
husband?
I
true.
agree. Like, I mean, I
true.
agree with that. But what I'm saying is that, you know, going back to what you said in the beginning, you know, about not even putting yourself out there if you're just not financially, you know what I'm saying?
I
ready.
think in mature dating, I think what Rashawn is speaking to is mature dating.
Yeah.
People put themselves out there before they're premature. When they're
All
premature
the
all the
time.
time.
Yeah.
But the mature side of dating is saying, "Hey, when I'm financially ready, when I'm physically ready, when I'm spiritually ready, when I'm economically,
Nobody's
when
doing
you're
that, though.
ready holistically." That goes to that availability and that capacity concept.
Okay, so what about the fact that, you know,
And the relationships that we get into when we're not ready holistically, they fail.
okay, so what about the situations where, oh, you know, growing together and I want somebody that I can grow
Nah.
with? Well, I mean,
No,
I think
Yeah.
that sounds
It's
good.
been-
and we've been
yeah.
saying
it's
it.
been
Sounds
said,
good.
like,
It's been
like
said
y'all
and
said
done.
it. It's
Yeah.
like,
It's been
but I think
said.
that plagued out in 1999.
y'all just said it on like
We talked about
a
no.
recent
I didn't say
episode.
y'all talked about it. Should we grow together? I think there are some ways that you grow together, but you
Right.
got to bring something to the table.
I said in
You
the
can't
last
come to the
yeah.
table empty thinking you
I
gonna grow
agree.
with me. What you
I
growing?
agree.
I said in the
Yeah.
last episode, you get further together faster, but you get further together faster when somebody's not dead weight.
That's true.
That's it.
You get
That's
further
it.
together
pull your own
faster
weight.
when somebody's when you get somebody that's coming in on the team and they're like, listen, I'm not just coming in, I'm not just gonna freeload off you. I need to understand what can I contribute to what this looks like.
Yeah.
We get together, get further together faster. Yeah, that's how you do
I
that.
think what you just said is the best part. What can you contribute to this
Yeah.
relationship? Because it may not always be money. Like I don't need nobody with money, but you got to bring something else to the table other
Right.
than money
I
to make
agree.
it make sense.
Absolutely.
for
I
me.
agree.
Absolutely, but let's
but
just
I still need you to have your finances together.
Absolutely.
I need you to have you together.
I
yeah.
need to see your credit
Yeah,
score.
yeah.
I need
So
there's some
all we're
stuff-
saying,
All right.
people, for everyone that is like listening, you know, we're challenging you to, before you even go into the situation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Make sure that you really, really, truly are ready.
Flaws
Man,
and all,
I
right?
I taught this one time in church. I said a life without Christ is unknowingly walking in brokenness, but a
Oh,
life
Lord, here we go.
without your finances together is unknowingly walking in brokenness. A life without your physical life together is unknowingly walking in brokenness. Everything that you can draw a line and put whatever you want to put there. If it's broken, then you're gonna bring brokenness into the relationship. Period. And those relationships don't work because for me, I'll say it that way. I'm a proponent of understanding that if I walk into a relationship trying to heal someone or allowing someone to heal me, that ain't gonna work. You gotta walk into the relationship whole, and if you don't walk into the relationship whole, at some point you're gonna get whole independently and walk away from that because you brought your representative to the relationship.
But what you just said is that when we start to date, we should challenge a person's mindset, because being economically submissive and being in that place, that's a mindset.
Yeah.
I know people. I have people that I know very well that I feel like they have poverty mindset, but it's because of where they've been. And I think it's the same thing Angel was saying. A lot of times we get in relationships, we don't ask the right questions.
That's
we
true,
don't
too.
ask where it's. We do that thing when you start dating. Right? You know, what's your favorite color? Where do you see yourself?
Man,
I ain't
in
asking
How do you
that.
see yourself in a couple
I don't
years?
care about your
I don't
favorite
care
color.
No, I don't. Here's the thing. This is what we don't ask people. We say, where do you see yourself in a couple years? Tell me about your last couple years.
Yeah.
Listen,
That's
you
good.
need
question
That's
you gotta
good.
ask.
You
Yeah.
need to start doing a whole initial assessment. Okay.
Literally.
Hey yo, man! Shout out to Josh Travis, man. I haven't talked to him in a long time, but I was deployed with him, man. Prior service, all that kind of stuff.
That's one.
And he told me
Literally.
that's one.
That's
He
it.
told me he said, hey man, listen, hey P head. They used to call me P head back in the day.
It's still the same thing.
And there's a checklist: name, address, credit score, social security number. There's a whole bunch of things on that list, and I like what you said. Okay, I understand where you want to go in the next 5 years, but I need to get the last 5 years.
Yeah.
Let me get some references as so I can understand where you are and how you got to where you are right now, because that's going to be the true depiction of where you're going. You can have dreams, you can have thoughts, you can have ideologies. That stuff don't matter to me.
Yeah.
If I don't know what the last 5 years, I'm getting to you, Angelica. 1 second, I'm sorry, but if I don't know what the last 5 years looks like, there's no way that I can tell or validate that the next 5 years that you're trying to go to is even going to be relevant.
Jesus.
I like to ask, about the
Pull my
previous,
cash
like
out.
specifically like about like the last relationship you were in. You know what I mean? Like why it didn't work out? What did you learn from it? You know, what could you have done better?
Oh, ooh.
You know, like those are the questions that like I like to ask that are like important. You know
That's
what I mean?
good.
I think those are good questions, but you also listen to the answers, because if they answer and they're
Yeah.
just blaming everything on the other person, that's
Then,
already
then
red
you
flag.
automatically know.
Right.
So
what
that's
about
why
the person that don't
specific-
talk about the last relationship that says that's just my past?
That's
Red
red
flag.
flag.
No, I'm telling you, I'm in a space now. I'm talking about that.
You
because,
have to.
Number one, because it still bothers me doesn't mean that I'm not ready. It just means I'm connected to my reality. It bothers me in a particular way to where I don't want to ever do that again. I'm so connected to what that looks like. I never want to do that again.
Right.
And so I'm not plagued. I'm just reminded.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that because, and I'm probably saying the same thing that you say because I often do that just in a different way. But
We bless you, woman of God.
yeah, so it's not like, oh, I'm just so traumatized from the relationship,
not
but
traumatized, no.
I'm so intentional
Connected,
about not getting it wrong again.
Yeah.
And sometimes I get mad at myself because dang, like why did I do that? Why did I settle? Why did I make that decision? I saw the red flags. Why didn't I just stop? You know what I mean?
Because sometimes the red flags look yellow.
Yeah.
They can
Colorblind.
look a little, like
Colorblind.
orangey.
It don't matter. A flag is a flag. Don't matter what color.
Yeah.
Burnt
Yeah.
orange.
Definitely.
You laying up at night, Lord, is that a red flag or is that just caution? Which one?
right.
So I know we're talking about a lot of financial stuff and talking about the relationship.
I didn't
This
mean
is
to
a
go
hard
down
question that we were actually supposed to bring up last week and we didn't get to it. And it's really, I guess I'm gonna ask you all, but it's really a question me and Rob got to answer. But as a man, could you move into a house that's already established by a woman? And that's a question for the men
I think
listening
that's
too. Can you?
So
And as a woman, could you allow a man to move into a house that you've already established?
I can answer this in real time because I understand that in real time. And the answer for me is a complete no.
Yeah, I was about to say.
It's a complete no. And I'm not saying because it's a complete no for me, it's a complete no for men at large. But what I will tell you is the man in me, and I'll be transparent, say the man in me, the ego in me, the provider in me, right?
Yeah.
The vision in me, the strategy in me won't even be in a situation that goes back to what you said. I'm not even going to petition myself to a woman unless I got something for her to fall. Now, when she falls in on it, if we want to become teammates, you know, and allow that to be our, you know, how we function, that's cool. But the ego in me won't let that happen. Nah, I can't move in.
I think my answer is
she got to move here.
He answered exactly how I would answer. There's no way my ego would allow me to move into a woman's space, especially if it's a woman's space that she had with another man. That show ain't happen. That show ain't about to happen. The ego ain't none of that about to work. And I now this is the old school of me. I ain't moving to nowhere. You have the ability to kick me out of
That part.
So that show ain't gonna happen. So now, like he said, if we're gonna build something together, like hey, we go get a house together or an apartment, you know, we do something like that together. We can. Let me ask you all a question as women. Could you all respect a man that had to move in with you all?
I mean, can I respect a man that? Yes, I can.
Absolutely.
However, I would love to experience, you know what I'm saying, building something together.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
While yes, babe, this is, you know, available to us right now, you know what I mean? But I wanted it to be a temporary situation that we, you know, can sit down together and agree upon and build together.
So what's your thoughts on, okay, let's just say, because now, obviously, I like to talk both sides. That's a me thing in terms of what I wouldn't want to do as a man.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, life happens to everybody, right?
Yeah.
Life just happens.
It does.
And so being a woman who's in a particular demographic, a particular space that's, you know, economically forward, who meets a man who she genuinely loves, I'm of the other side of, okay, if I'm of a man that, you know, I move in with a woman that's economically forward, we just have to have a conversation about what that looks like in terms of, okay, what's the economical divide? Can
you break that down in layman's terms? So what
you
you're
might
saying,
have,
you
you might have
somebody
had
that got money, and you got money. What does the situation
So
look like?
I had a term that was taught to me.
You saying a lot of
lot.
words.
I had a term that was
economically.
brought to me back in the day. There's money in the hand and money in the pocket. Okay? So you may have money in your pocket as a woman, and we thank God for that. And I may be a man that has money in the hand, which means I make it every day, and it is what it is. And I'm still trying to figure that out. Okay? But when you applied for the house, the interest rate was, I don't know, 3.5. I'm throwing a number out, 3.5. But if I would apply
That's a
for the
couple
house,
years ago, they ain't now.
okay. And now, but if we would apply for the house together, it probably would have been 11%. Hypothetically, I'm just throwing a number out there. The point is that we have to be able to come to an understanding that says, now you being the economically forward person is better for our household.
You being the person that has the most money.
Thank you.
It's economically forward for our
The
household.
person that got the most money. Thank you. I just want to give it a big
For the people in the back, right.
because
Thank
he's
you,
talking and
Rashawn.
I'm deciphering while you talk.
You are.
It's like I'm writing out what
You
you're
might
saying
be
and
the
deciphering
economically,
it.
Interpret, please.
If you add me to this, we have to have what's called that together conversation.
But that's the whole point of relationship, though.
Yeah.
Is that it's an adding to, and that's where a lot of people get messed up because they marry for all these other. You know, yeah, you marry somebody you love, but we need to also marry because if I'm making 70 and you making 70, we about to do something now.
that part.
And you add your 60 to my 80, whatever, or my 50 get added to your 80, whatever. That's a game changer.
Our tax
It is.
bracket just changed.
Yeah.
That's what the game changer. If you find, but you got to do what you said. You got your credit may be better, so you need to go finance the car in your name.
Yeah.
Well, I need to get the credit cards in my name. You got to have a conversation about where we are
Absolutely.
financially,
Yeah.
and see what it is. That what
That's
you just
strategic.
said leads us to what I was going to ask y'all next when it comes to the financial. So, do you believe that the person that makes the most money in the relationship make the decisions in the relationship,
No.
or has the power in the relationship?
No,
I
Nick.
told y'all in the last episode, my dad said
Can't.
it's not equal gift, it's equal sacrifice.
Shout out to your dad. We made you to have him on the show.
Look,
Full
it's
of
not
wisdom.
equal gift.
Daddy be giving some good stuff.
Yeah.
Listen, why you playing? If I would have listened to him when I was 18,
That part.
but I had my own mind.
You need to look
Our
at the camera
kids,
and say
But
that.
like the prodigal, put my cash out. No, like the prodigal son. No. It's not equal gift. It's equal sacrifice. And at the end of the day, like I told y'all last, I had the best example of teaching not only family liberty but financial liberty and literacy. You know what I mean? And so, learning how to empower people within the relationship. That was the best thing I possibly could learn. And listen, in my next relationship, it's all about empowering. I'm not here to control. I'm not here to keep. I'm not here to, make it proprietary in terms of, we become one.
Yeah.
And then I lift you through literacy. Then I lift you
Yeah.
through leading.
And I
That's
can
healthy.
respect that. So
Yeah.
you coming in saying, like being like my, come up, empower me to no.
But
Yeah, my
after I
own
was
come
your
up.
come up, you know what did you do after the come up? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I gave you all the
But
tools.
but what I'm saying is, but what I'm saying is walk into a situation that, well, she don't have her own identity and she can't find her own
Man,
way.
help her create
You know
one.
what I'm saying? Yes, I got you.
Yeah,
However,
help her create one. For real.
I want you to learn how to have you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Help her create one.
I think that's a good. I know a lot of people are probably like, y'all
That's
talking about a lot of
independence.
stuff with finances today when it comes to relationship. But relationships fail for two main reasons: finances and sex.
and finances. Yeah.
Well, let me say three: sex, finances, communication.
I was about to
Yeah.
say,
Those
believe
are
that
the
communication.
things.
Sex, finance, and communication.
Because
And
lack of
anytime
communication.
they might switch positions.
Listen, while
You're
you're
not
playing,
communicating about finances and sex.
Yeah, that part.
You give me good sex. You don't take my money. We can talk about anything.
Give me good sex.
I'm
Don't
just
take
being
my money.
real.
We can talk
We
about
can
question,
talk-
please.
we can talk about
I
anything.
got one better than that. Talk to me while you having sex, and you can,
Oh,
and you can have the money. No, I'm just.
This is either in between salvation.
This is turning quickly.
Wow.
Oh, you did. This is turning
Yeah, while
quickly.
married. I'm talking about
While
married.
married. We're talking
Yeah,
about married.
yeah.
folk.
Throw
We're
that
talking
in
to the
there.
married folk.
Married.
We're talking to the married folk.
Not that single life, just married folks.
What I said last episode? Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're talking to the married folk, man.
Oh man. Why are we talking about finances though? This is a crazy question because I know somebody was talking about
Y'all
it this
keep
week.
talking, I'ma get up.
Prenups. Do y'all think that prenup should be a thing? Or do you agree? Let me ask the ladies before we answer, Rob. How would y'all feel if a man you're dating positions you or asks you, "Hey, are you okay to sign a prenup?" Where y'all at on that?
I don't know. I think it just depends on where I'm at. And also where he's at. If I feel like I'm okay on my own, then I'm okay with it. I just want to read those. I just want to make sure.
You're protected. In the
Yeah,
back door.
yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah.
Where you at, Angel? Prenup.
I mean, I feel like that just shouldn't be a conversation because I mean, by this point, if we're getting married, the kind of female that I am, you already know. Like,
No.
I don't. Again, when you're in a situation with me, with
No.
her, I'm saying, am I? Then
Including you.
you don't have to.
No.
That's not nothing you have to worry about.
Well, I guess Rob just gave his answer. But Rob expand on
No,
it.
no. So listen. First of all, it's in my future to be rich enough to have a prenup. Right now, yeah, whatever. But if my commas were in the right place, oh, definitely. And I think that protects the interest of it being genuinely about love. And for me, it protects the interest of it being genuinely about love. And at the end of the day, if this is the thing, while you're with me, I'll share everything I got. While you're with me, I'll make sure hand and foot that you're good to go.
Okay.
And I think the prenup protects me from having to cater to you or submit to you after the relationship doesn't work. The prenup, see, the thing about it, they take the prenup and they think the prenup is going to be a thing that's going to be connected to the relationship. The prenup is after the relationship. When it don't work out.
Well,
no
actually,
more.
it's after, but it's really before. It protects what you had before.
Oh, and, I mean, what I
But
mean
I
by
know what you mean
I
by
mean
that.
in terms of what I have to give you
After
afterwards.
this
You know,
work.
and what we build together is what we build together. I'm
Absolutely.
totally connected to that.
Yeah.
I'm totally connected to that. But what I'm not connected to is in the relationship, if I chose to be a particular way and you chose to be another way that was against elevation, against purpose, against strategy, against making, whatever, economical advancements that could be good for the family, but then you get to walk away with a thing just because you simply knew me.
So I have a question for you. So in that situation, let's just say it just wasn't that, do you?
and let's just say y'all didn't end on like bad terms. It just, it just didn't.
Let it be my desire, not
It
my
just
demand.
right. So that's where I was going.
Let it be my desire,
That's where
not
I was
my
going.
demand.
Is that's exactly where I was going. Like, is that going to be like
Now
like for
you went somewhere because while it's my desire, not my demand, you got to understand that may affect you in your next relationship.
What? So
Because at the end of the
because you're paying my bills.
No. It could be a thing because now we're going back to the whole, it's not so much economical control or dominance or anything like that, but you have to understand that with every decision you make, it's connected to the next relationship, precept upon precept, So, okay, I'm taking care of you because I'm in a situation where, okay, yeah, I told you I was going to do this for you because I just said this was going to be. What happens to the next man that wants to be involved with you? And you're still being taken care of by your past.
Well, by law, most of the time that ends. when you decide to get married.
Not when you make a decision.
Well, maybe not when
But
you
we're
make a
talking
decision.
about.
We're
by-
talking
by
about
law.
the decision. We ain't
We're
talking
talking
about what the
decision. I was
lawyer
talking
said.
about
We're
final.
talking about what. If I, in my mind, say, you know what, because I married you and I was connected to you over a particular time and space, you have to be connected to what that looks like in your next relationship, because that goes back to the question of being with a man, a man moving into a woman's house or something like that or whatever. You know what I mean? What happens when you're a man with a woman who's still being taken care of by another man? Because that man
somebody
says
like that.
my space.
Yeah,
is,
I ain't never been out with another.
that's going to be very, very challenging.
and I don't.
I can answer.
I can
I can
imagine.
answer without knowing or being in that position.
So
I
hold on.
can't- I
Let me give
can't-
you an example.
No, I got you. Let me. I can't. I'm fine if we're dating. If we're dating and you're being taken care of by your ex because of whatever arrangement or whatever court order you got, then that's fine. But as a man, once I marry you,
Right.
we are no longer obligated to. We don't need nobody else.
So as an example, I don't know him. I don't know him at all. I've never had a conversation with him. But there was something that was released on social platforms, like you got Country Wayne, who was talking about how he takes care of all his baby mamas. It don't matter who they are, where they are, what they're doing. He gonna do that. I'm not knocking him from doing that. That's his decision.
You ain't
My
doing
money don't go long enough to do that. But so the question is, or the conversation is, as a man now in her next relationship, I don't know if I would be okay with, her being taken care of by, and I'm just saying, and no knock on Country Wayne. I laugh at everything you post. It's hilarious. I'm just using it as a conversation because it's publicly known.
Yeah, I'm saying as a man,
He
you don't
put
know
that
if you're
on,
comfortable.
he put that on social platforms. That's what he does.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't think I'm in a space or have the right to say I feel some kind of way if we're just dating. If we're just dating and your financial resources built on your last relationship, that's nothing. I'm talking about
full-fledged relationship.
It don't matter if I'm just in relationship with you. I can't. If I'm in relationship with you and you
That's
already got
true.
your
I
own
like
house
that.
and you
That's
got your
true.
own car and you
That's
already
true.
got your
That's
financial
true.
support for that, that's
Yeah,
that.
that's
When
true.
we get married,
That's
we
true.
ain't about to accept a check from Country Wayne no more.
That's true.
We ain't accepting. Nick Cannon ain't paying no bills no more.
That's true.
He's trying to get
Exactly,
seed to everybody at this point.
and for the female, like you can't expect a man to be like okay with that.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
you can't.
And if
you
you
can't-
got a man that's
A
okay,
real
with that,
man.
that's a little
I say
weird.
that. A real
can't-
man.
like
A little weird.
how is that
How?
going to work?
I mean,
Not
do it
unless-
for the brand,
not unless he
do it for
like-
the
She ain't
culture.
disclosing
Listen.
that.
Not unless he like, hey, listen,
Listen,
Get-
it's
get-
some.
get the bag.
get
It's-
that money,
right, hey.
You know what I'm saying?
Get the bag.
You know,
All right. Well, last thing I'm gonna talk to you about is it was something else that was was in the social as Rob says, the social media platforms. On social media platforms today economically.
That's the word.
It is the word.
Okay, this was a
The
question.
word for the
It's
day.
actually good. So should your partner, the person you're with, the person you're in a relationship with, not somebody you just dating or sleeping with, but somebody you're in a relationship with,
Why are you looking at me?
because you asked that you wanted to define it. Should your partner that you're in a relationship with have access to your phone, social media, or accounts?
Abort.
I'm gonna
Abort.
Only in
I'm gonna
marriage.
let y'all answer first.
I mean, I
I need some
feel
water.
like that shouldn't even be a thing. Like if we're like together, if I even have to say, listen, I need access to all your stuff, then I don't want to be with you. I just
don't
don't have
trust
time
them.
for that.
That's
Because
a
if I'm
trust
with
issue.
you, I trust you.
Yeah.
And like vice versa. Like I'm not gonna even ask that. But if you give me a reason to,
And you gonna ask?
Yeah.
There was a question that was asked about what's in the black, drinking devices.
what?
This proves that there's water. I just wanted to make sure we said.
somebody-
I'm
really
paper
ask that?
Bible saved.
I just wanted to make sure. People literally, I got messages asking what's inside
Paper bottle.
What's in
those.
the black? What's in the
Yeah, I did. Water.
black? Water. Water.
Mountain
I gotta
Dew.
figure out how I can. Oh, well,
not
Pam, you
water.
answer next. You go ahead, Pam.
What?
Do you want
Answer the
access to
question.
your
Do you
man's
want access
phone?
to the
or-
man's
Like I
phone
don't
on
have
social
to have
media?
access to it, but if you want to give it to me, then I don't feel like I have to go through your stuff. Because I feel like if you go looking for stuff, you're going to find something. But I don't have to have. God, no.
God, I mean, Too much water.
Thirsty much? You nervous?
But you just said it, Pam. You just hit it. I'm
This
talking about you
came
just
up
hit
for
it.
me, so I gotta be careful
You
how
just
I
hit
answer
it.
this.
If you go looking
Oh,
for something,
God.
You're gonna find
you
it.
gonna find something. Even if it ain't got nothing to do with nothing, you gonna
Right.
find something that you don't need to find.
Right.
Or that, I don't want to say that you don't need to find. You gonna find something that's gonna upset you. Now we got a whole day lost
That part.
because you mad about a text from 1992.
But here's
That
the
part.
thing, though. But my thing is, if you feel like you have to ask, then you need to examine that.
you know,
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
why do you even feel like you have to ask?
Right.
You know the prophet PJ Morton had a song and it says I don't want to go through your phone.
Yeah, I like
Some
that.
things are better left unknown.
That's right.
I'd rather just be living in my head,
Listen.
thinking that everything is good. Than to be
The thing
sitting
about
there
it is, if you're not doing anything, you have nothing to worry about.
This
Leave
is
your
what I gotta
phone
say.
out.
Daydream.
Yeah.
Leave
Is that
your
what it said,
phone
daydream?
out, and I mean, leave your laptop open if you ain't got nothing to hide.
Yeah. God is a revealer anyway, so hey,
here's-
that's how I look at it.
But here's my real answer. I feel like that level of access comes with time. I think having access to my phone, bank account, laptop, all that stuff. I feel like, once you get
As you-
married,
as you
once you
build
get married,
trust.
of course, yeah.
Right.
But in a relationship, we just started dating.
Right.
We 3-4 months in.
Oh, Why you
5-6
asking-
months in.
exactly.
It's-
Negative.
That's too early.
Wait, you
Exactly.
mean like
Negative.
So as soon as y'all like you said when you get married is when she should get access to your
Not as soon
I think-
as,
I
but just
think-
over the course
well,
of
I'm
time.
saying, but I'm saying it could even be before that. I'm saying access is given over time.
Exactly.
Right.
It's
Not
like
giving it to you in the
gradual.
first 6-7 months. you ain't got that.
And you don't have the right to be like, okay, nigga, dang, nigga.
See?
Sorry.
You better
Cancel.
stop. quoting
Listen,
me.
but you don't have the right, female.
still-
I taught her that word, y'all. Don't be mad.
You don't have the right, females,
still
to be
on the
like,
side.
okay, listen, I need to see all your stuff. No, like you just don't have that right. I just met you.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
'Cause
It's
what
been
are
a
you-
couple of weeks in. Like, if
Yeah.
you feel like that, then like,
What are we doing?
I think access
What's
is
going on
given.
here?
That part.
Access is given over time. I think it
Absolutely.
should be.
You have
So
to
I'm-
earn that.
I'm a
Earn
little,
it.
I'm a little slow too. So once I give you access to one thing, you got all of it because I got the same password, same pin
Oh,
code.
Lord.
So
Me
if once I give you one thing, you got all things. So
I ain't
think
trying to
you got
remember
two.
all
Rob,
that.
what is the
I
problem?
think you
I
got-
just want to know. I just want to know she laughing at. No.
You nervous?
So what's the question?
You know what?
So I would.
Should your partner have access to your social media
What is going
accounts,
on?
passwords,
And
whatever?
such.
Now listen, we're talking about somebody that you are in a relationship with. I didn't say marriage.
I think if the request is made, I think there's a conversation that should be had against it. That's not something I'm just gonna offer up front. Because it's not necessary. I mean, even if you gave me access to your stuff, I just wouldn't, because the last thing I'm thinking about is someone else's phone. It just becomes a space where I think unnecessary arguments can come up from that.
I agree.
I just think, listen, I trust my woman when she comes home to me. She's my, we're good. And, I kind of rest in the fact that, she knows where home is. And outside of that, if there's something that needs to be intentionally brought to me, it'll come. You know what I mean?
Well, see, my problem is I don't want a woman to. You go through my phone, it's a lot of motherboard members in there sending me text messages and the old ladies, Clarabelle and all them.
What kind of messages
Right.
they sending you?
They're trying to get with me.
Yeah,
I
and I
want you- I
mean,
want
you
you-
know,
I want
It's a
you-
safe,
What?
it's a safe space. Let me see your
I
phone.
don't want you to. You don't want to go
no,
through that phone.
and so
Not that one.
Not that one.
Not that one.
I want the one on
You,
top.
you had a red one.
No, I want the one. No, I want the one on top.
no,
No.
I'm glad you said that, Rayshawn, because at the end of the day, like, and even in the space that we're doing now, or even in even in elements of ministry, like, man, people they just inbox you, and you're nice. You know what I mean? You're available for connecting. You know what I mean? But what was innocent on my behalf could be deemed as inappropriate.
You know what? We can ready to open up a whole nother can. Another can.
Listen, first of all, everybody
I
that
think
texts
that's
me,
still-
I call
that right
them,
there
I call
still-
them woman of
that's
God.
But
still
no,
teeters
but
the
still,
line.
even listen, even
It's
with
Woman
that,
of God, hey, woman of
Pam
God.
said,
Woman of
once
God.
you go looking,
You're gonna
find
find
something
something.
on either.
No,
either
we didn't
way.
listen. We've transitioned, okay? Because he's talking about people in the inboxes and guys just, oh well, I'm just being nice, okay? But there's a lot of guys that know exactly what they're doing,
Absolutely.
even with the woman of God attached to it,
I'm glad you said
even
that.
with the even with the sis.
I don't
attached
know what
to it.
I'm
like,
doing.
like, stop. I know.
Hold on, because I'm glad you said that. I know we got to go.
I don't
You
know
don't?
what I'm
Hold on, I
doing.
know
You
we-
don't?
I know we got to go, but let me tell you something. I want to talk to those ones because I
I
done
don't
seen
know
you
what
in
I'm
Angels
doing. I just say
DM.
woman of God.
I done seen y'all in Angels DM. I done seen it. She out there ministering the praise and worship, and after she gets off, you woman of God, you blessed me tonight. She didn't bless you. She didn't bless you.
She turned
was
you
bless-
on.
She was blessing God, and now you turned on. Get out her DMs.
That's right.
Get out. I'm challenging the people. Get out her DMs. I done seen
Yeah.
it. I've seen it.
Me too.
We got to go, Rob. Get me out of here.
Listen, so just to make sure we clarify, I just think that again, I think that is a conversation
Get out
that
of her DMs.
that's congruent to the compatibility of the relationship. Stay out of Angelica's
But if
DMs.
you got money, get in mine. If you are economically advanced, whatever you been saying the whole episode.
This
That's
gonna go
right.
out through all social platforms. If you
Economically advanced. Gotta have
The
advanced
title of
on.
this show, are you economically advanced?
Yes.
I would behoove you to stay out of mine. No, I'm joking. Listen,
No,
man,
we
this-
for real.
Stay out
I
of
would
here.
Stay out
behoove you
of
to
Stay out of them.
Stay out of
No,
here.
man, listen, man. We're here.
crazy.
We're having a real conversation. I hope that we peel back a couple of layers.
flag,
This
red
is Safe Space Network. We keep the main thing the main thing. It's your boy RJ. Listen, tune in next week. We're gonna peel back some more layers. I'll talk to y'all soon. We out.
All right. So
I'm going
let's
to get me a
see.
soldier or somebody with a 401k plan or something. I got to get
You know what? Listen.
Rob